Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Is Lamb's apology bad sign for Giants? Dallas Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb produced what might be one of his worst games in his pro career in the 28-25 loss to the Baltimore Ravens at AT&T Stadium last week, and let his frustrations and emotions get the best of him. A fumble and multiple drops and pouts and exiting the locker room early. All bad behaviors, Lamb has since admitted. "I expect a lot out of myself, more than anyone could put on me," Lamb said. "And quite honestly, I failed myself, and obviously I failed the team, just as far as producing and being that game breaker. I kind of let the game get to my head a little bit, so, now what?" Giants fans hope he's not about to take it out on New York on Thursday Night Football. Meanwhile, Cowboys Nation hopes he's speaking the truth when he says, "Honestly, I got to be truthful to myself and I played a part in that loss, a big part, honestly, and neither my body language nor attitude approaching the situation helped the situation or the outcome of the game. There are reasons to suspect, and in New York, reasons to hope that the Dallas Cowboys are falling apart. The 1-2 record is part of that mark matches that of the Giants, who play host to Dallas on Thursday night. But some Week 3 sideline theatrics, combined with poor play, also contribute to the idea, an idea that wide receiver CeeDee Lamb claims is wrong. Lamb has admitted he failed during Sunday's 28-25 defeat to the Baltimore Ravens, but argued against any suggestion of a real conflict with quarterback Dak Prescott. Lamb caught just 4 passes for 67 yards, dropped another and had a fumble in an awful individual showing for the All-Pro who just signed a $136 million contract. Also in play, a sideline spat between Lamb and Prescott in the Ravens game that exposed, "What? Our relationship, if anything, has gotten stronger," Lamb said. "Don't let what's out there fool you. We're brothers to the end. We know that we got, and I tip my hat off to him. I got the utmost respect for him, and I look at him as a brother." September 23 dinged up. The Dallas Cowboys have dropped to 1-2 on the season after another brutal 28-25 loss, this time to the Baltimore Ravens at AT&T Stadium. And on Monday they are trying to put back together the pieces and readying for a short week before Thursday's visit to the New York Giants, who have the same 1-2 record. Why does it seem like America's team's 1-2 mark is an embarrassment, while the Giants' 1-2 mark is a triumph? Anyway, Dallas coordinator Mike Zimmer's defense could not stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry as the pair combined for 238 rushing yards, and now the Cowboys are licking their wounds. Here is the Dallas injury report for Monday, featuring a dinged-up DeMarcus Lawrence. September 22 win. The New York Giants secured their first win of the season with a 21-15 victory over the Cleveland Browns, snapping a 2-game losing streak. New York's offense, led by quarterback Daniel Jones, found its rhythm early in Week 3, with Jones delivering a much-needed balanced performance. The victory marked a critical turning point for Jones, who bounced back after 2 challenging weeks to deliver his best showing of the season. After a rocky start in Week 1's 28-6 loss to the Minnesota Vikings, where Jones completed just 22 of 42 passes for 186 yards, 2 interceptions, and no touchdowns, he showed improvement in Week 2 against the Washington Commanders, throwing for 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, and adding 32 rushing yards in a 21-18 loss. Neighbors' awareness, not production, key to game-saving play. However, Week 3 marked Jones' most complete performance, as he went 24 for 34 for 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 20 rushing yards. With the offense totaling 340 yards and the defense stepping up to force critical stops, the Giants showed significant progress on both sides of the ball. Jones' growing command of the offense was evident, and the Giants will look to build on this momentum as they prepare for a Thursday night showdown against the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys at Giants, must win to get the ball rolling, admits Micah. Make no mistake about it, the Dallas Cowboys are reeling. After back-to-back brutal losses, the first division game of the season has arrived, with the New York Giants awaiting Mike McCarthy's team at MetLife Stadium. In a game that almost feels like a got-to-have, the Cowboys simply can't afford to drop a game against an opponent they've dominated with Dak Prescott at the wheel. Dak is 12-2 against New York in his career and has won the last 12 straight, so Dallas might feel confident in rolling the Giants again. For Micah Parsons, it is nearly a must-win for his team. "I feel like every game is must-win," Parsons said. "The last 2 years, we were one game off the number 1 seed. I think every game has equal importance. But I think I would like to get the ball back rolling again. We've got to get back to the win column and get the ball rolling." The Cowboys' season has stalled after a promising Week 1 win over the Cleveland Browns. Confidence was high, and then 2 utter beatdowns at home had Dallas staggering to make the 10 count. One could say that the Giants don't have a better chance to slay the Cowboys, and being at home, they must make it count. Dallas knows the task at hand, and you can bet New York will be rushing the ball down Mike Zimmer's defense's throat. They've proven they can't stop the run, and the Giants would be foolish not to make the Cowboys try and stop it yet again. The media storm around the franchise has been getting bigger and bigger, but if it loses to the lowly Giants, it will take on a whole other look. Parsons calls it a must-win, and we think he's right. It took 3 games to prove Jerry Jones' Mike McCarthy decision was a disaster. The Cowboys' season is unraveling with impressive speed after another disappointing performance. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens shredded Dallas defense en route to a 28-25 loss, and fans are already looking ahead at possible Mike McCarthy replacements. Jerry Jones' questionable decisions are nothing new, yet his handling of McCarthy's contract has immediately proven disastrous. McCarthy is essentially a lame-duck coach. His contract is up at the end of the year, and few believe Jones intends to re-sign him given the rise of promising minds across the league. That's created an awkward situation, and the Cowboys are suffering for it. Having lost 3 straight home games now, Dallas needs to turn things around quickly before the season gets away from them. The worst thing the Cowboys did this season wasn't refusing to bring in a RB, or waiting too long to sign Dak and CD, or refusing to bring in ADT. It was bringing back Mike McCarthy after that disaster against the Packers in the playoffs last season. Plain and simple. It seems like the team is just sitting around waiting for McCarthy to be fired. Unless the Cowboys make a deep run in the playoffs, Dallas will be hiring a new coach for the 2025-26 season. Some believe Jones is waiting for Bill Belichick, yet it seems his indecision thus far is more a result of laziness and unwillingness to buy McCarthy out of his contract. That's always been Jones' strategy, yet it's clearly biting the Cowboys in the rear. McCarthy is not the right person to lead this franchise. If he was, Jones would have already extended him. The writing is on the wall. In the meantime, Dallas is suffering through what's likely to be a lost season. That's Jones' fault, and he needs to wear the warts caused by his bad decision-making. Frustration is spilling over into the locker room, and no one is more responsible than Jones. Luckily for the Cowboys, they get to face the Giants in Week 4. The schedule gets harder after that, with games against the Steelers, Lions, 49ers, and Falcons coming up after that. Unless McCarthy turns things around quickly, most fans will just be waiting for the end of the year to come so they can find a new coach. Jones created this mess, yet it seems he has no interest in actually cleaning it up until he has to. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike McCarthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.